Good morning, community members and friends. This is Reverend Melanie Marshbaum, and it's Saturday morning, week 3, and you've made it through another week by the grace of God. Because it is Saturday, you know that my weekly devotional is coming to you a little bit later than it has the last couple of weeks, and for that I apologize, and I thank you for your grace and your patience. We are trying to do so much, all of us, you and me and everyone around us, that I think it is important that we find ways to extend grace to one another always. This week, my mind has been a lot on finding God in the midst of all of this. And in my weekly email message to the congregation, I noticed and noted that I have been finding God a lot in the ways that we show up for one another. In big ways and in small, we are all trying to maintain those threads of connection between ourselves and others in our families, in our communities, and in the larger world. I've seen a lot of people trying to reach out via phone, via Facebook, Zoom, Instagram, and it's all very uplifting to see those messages of encouragement and caring happening. You've also reached out to us and checked on us and wanted to give us encouragement in this time, and for that we are grateful. And for those of you who are looking for ways to help, we've got some ideas about that too. Because a lot of our partners are not doing their usual work that requires a lot of volunteers at this moment, most of what they are looking for, organizations like Mission House and Beam and Habitat, is donations. And I know that that might feel like a stretch for all of us right now. But if there is any way that you can spare a few dollars for any of our local mission partners or your favorite national charity, now is a good time to give. I will include a few links in the comment section of this email for the local mission partners that we work with at Community Presbyterian Church, as well as a couple of national mission partners that we work with at the denominational level if you are interested in donating. The other thing that you can do is reach out. If you happen to have a church directory at home or you have a list of community church members in your phone, make some phone calls. The thing that we've been hearing the most that people appreciate is just hearing from one another. Even if it's not someone you know well, if you just take the time to say, hey, we are members of the same community and I am thinking of you, it will mean the world to someone who perhaps hasn't had a lot of social interaction in the last couple of weeks. And if you happen to have a need that needs to be fulfilled at this time and you are unable to do so for health and safety reasons, feel free to reach out to the church with those as well. And if you are able to help, go to the grocery store or walk a dog or do other around the household kind of chores for people who can't get out of the house right now, feel free to email or call us as well, and we will do the best we can to make those connections between those who have needs for their daily necessities at this moment and those who have the ability to help people carry them out. We are a community that is here for one another. And now more than ever, reaching out to each other and being there for each other is so important. Another thing that has given me a lot of comfort in this moment is to hear and see and know that this has all happened before. Maybe not quite in this way, maybe not quite on this kind of scale, but we as a church, we as a nation and a world have seen moments of crisis before and survived them. Life is a cycle. And all the things that we are seeing right now, we know people have lived through in the past. And so we must be encouraged to know that we are also strong enough and resilient enough to get through this together by the grace of God. I want to close today by sharing with you a piece of poetry that was written by my grandmother. She wrote several books of poetry during her lifetime, and this is one that is particularly meaningful to me. Poetry and music are one of our lifelines during this time of isolation, and anytime that you want to share a piece of art expression that has been meaningful to you, please feel free to send it to us and we will post it on our Facebook page. This is a poem entitled Circles by Lena Lewin, my grandmother, from her book, The Pace That Stills. Nature favors the circle as it surrounds us in crackling turtle eggs, in ponds where lily pads grow, seeing the spots on a leopard or rain dripping onto a leaf, beating into crystal balls. Nature favors the circle in the cycles of the seasons and of life. Because of growing equality in all directions that makes our circle of humanity wider. Concentric circles upon circles in the trunks of a tree, in caves where stalactites form hanging icicles. Nature favors the circle in the embrace of the human embryo with its living circle of cells, in the atom, in the nucleus, the center of all that is. To form a well-rounded person, nature favors the circle. Lines without beginning or end, symbols for time and eternity. We carve them, we tattoo them, we ring around the roses and give precious gifts like wedding rings, and remember the bleeding head which wore the crown as we drink wine from the cup. We hope that you will join us for worship tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It is Palm Sunday, and so we will be inviting you all to wave your greenery, whatever it happens to be, something that you found outside or something that you found inside that just happens to be green. It doesn't have to be a plant. Just do the best you can. And also, I invite you to start collecting up those items that you might need for communion and setting your sacred space aside so that we will be ready to worship together, even if it's at a distance, tomorrow morning. God's blessings upon you until we meet again.